Going to the States for the first time was a dream come true. When I got to know that I was going to the States, oh, that night I didn't sleep. Like I was going the next morning. I invited my father, my mother, my friends, and they were like, "What? TC, going to the States?" That night I couldn't sleep. I packed my passport and made sure that I've got all these fancy clothes, because I wanted to go look so cool. So I woke up in the morning, like, because I slept 2 hours. Then my friends, we took a bus to the airport. A lot of friends, we got there. The process wasn't so difficult. It was something that I was used to. The whole drama started when I got to South Africa, because South Africa is bigger than Zimbabwe. So I was used to where here we see buses, those little buses, and you see two planes. Well, in South Africa, it was amazing. I was like, so many planes, and I didn't know what to do with myself. Anyway, I got through the immigration, got my passport stamped, and then I was dragging my bag, walking, and then boom, I see the police. They were looking at me like,
Who is this boy?
they were like,
Hey,
"Hey."
you, come here. Do you have a passport?
I'm like, "Yes, I do have a passport." So I pulled my passport. They wanted to see.
Does this passport have a visa?
They're like, "Yes, I do have a visa." And then I pulled the letter that I had. Then they asked me, "So
Where are you going?
like, I know I'm going to New York," and they looked at me like from head to the toe. Like
You going to New York?
I was like, "Yes, me." But like,
What's in your bag?
no, just my clothes. And then they opened my bag. They thought I had marijuana, and boop, there was only my clothes. And then they let me go. So I started wandering around, being amazed. It was like a mind blowing experience. And when the time came to get to the plane, I wanted to be the first one to get inside. So I was number one online, and then they checked my ticket. Everything was all right. Then I got the green light to go. So I was like, okay, so how do I get to the plane? I didn't know about jetways. So the lady gave me the directions. It's like, okay, go this way. So I started walking, dragging my bag into the jetway, walking, and then I got to somewhere. And then I saw this beautiful lady standing there dressed so nice. Then I'm looking inside, I'm seeing all this big screen and all like nice chairs. And I'm like, I'm looking for my plane. I'm supposed to go to New York. And then they were like, "You are on the plane right now." And I was like, "What?" And then she was like, "Yeah." So I'm like, I need to go to seat. My seat was what? Was 45K. Like, so how do I go to 45K? Then she said,
Turn right, go straight down, and then you see your seat on your left.
so I'm walking, focusing on one side. Okay, I'm looking for 45, and then boom, I found 45K. So I took my bag, put it inside, and then I turned my head to check the other side, and I'm seeing all these seats. I'm like, how are we going to fly? Because that plane was so big. I'm just used to those small planes here that carry 60 people. And I got to know this one carries so many people. So I had a window seat. So the window cover was closed. And then I opened the window cover, and oh my goodness, the wing was so large, was so huge. And we ended up taking off without me noticing because I was so scared and I was terrified. I didn't know what I was gonna do. And the next thing, we were in London, Heathrow Airport. So anyway, the process got better. And then I got into the other plane, and at least on my second flight, I managed to eat. Because on the first one, I was still terrified I couldn't eat. So we go to the States. Everything went so smooth when I got out. So Dennis was waiting for me. Dennis and Ellie were waiting for me there. And then they were like, "Are you hungry?" Then I said, "Yes, I'm hungry."
Would you like some food?
Like, "Yes, please." They're like, "Okay."
You can go, let's go get a burger.
So I go to the burger place, and then they were like, "So
What kind of burger would you like, sir?
I'm like, okay, I just want a beef burger." They were like,
What type of bread?
I'm like, "Well, I only know the bread made of wheat." And then they told me they have a million kinds of bread. I'm like, "Okay, just give me white bread. So they gave me white bread. They were like, how do you want your burger done? Medium, rare? I'm like, I know nothing. I just want it well cooked. So they were like, would you like it with cheese? I'm like, oh, cheese sounds good. And I only knew one type of cheese, cheddar. They were like, oh, we've got this cheese, blue Swiss, this and that. I'm like, please, just regular cheese. I didn't even know what I was talking about. So then they put some cheese and they were like, what would you like to drink? Since I was jet lagged, I wanted some coffee. And then they were like to me, what kind of milk would you like? How many type of milks do we know? I mean, I only know cow milk. Well, there were so many kinds of milk. But it was just so amazing. It was so cool.
Nice. The time I roll.